Hi everyone. Today we are going to talk about what a flare-up is. I have some facts here that I'm going to read off of. A flare is an increase in symptoms above what is normal for you. It is like having the flu and every single part of your body hurts. You have no energy, lack of concentration, stomach ailments, and severe pain and discomfort from all parts of the body. With the flu, you eventually get over it, but with a flare, it can last days, weeks, or sometimes months. Symptoms of a flare are different in each person. A fibro flare does not give you a break. Okay, so it is different in every single person, and it's also different flare up to flare up. You can have 5 symptoms on one flare up, and then you can have 7 or 8 the next flare up. And then you can only have another flare up. It just depends. I know today was my niece's birthday party, and I was there for like 3 hours, and I'm already feeling it in my shoulder and my hip that it's really tightening up. It's really starting to cause a lot of pain. So I'm feeling I'm going to have a flare up tomorrow. So the top things that cause flare-ups are weather changes, and that could be anywhere from, going winter to summer, winter to summer heat, or it could be, like we don't really have a spring here in Bakersfield, so we literally can go from, winter to, like, it was 74 today, I think it was. So anyway, like any type of weather changes, it can cause it. And unfortunately, that's one of the top ones to where pretty much everyone has that, to where they get a flare around that time. And it usually only lasts 1 or 2 days for the season changes. Also, overexertion. So that could be cleaning or shopping. Anything that you overexert yourself, going to a beach, like me going to the party. But I know, like, I have to be careful because if I clean something, like if I clean the bathroom, I have to take breaks. I can do like the windows and the sink, and then I have to take like a 20-minute break. I cannot do the tub because of my back injuries and neck injuries. There's no way I could do that. But in order to, like, use the toilet scrubber or whatever, like, I have to wait in order to do that. Stress is a big one. Stress can cause a lot of issues, but it's one of the top ones that cause the flares. Illness or injury. Even a common cold can cause a flare-up. If you fall, or, I fall quite a bit. I know one time I got a paper cut, and my finger was just throbbing and throbbing and throbbing, to where I ended up going into a flare-up over a stupid paper cut. Hormonal changes. So flares during periods and menopause. Thank God I never had one during those times. Temperature change. So extremely sensitive. You could even be going into a grocery store. Like, I know our 99-cent store here keeps it pretty cold. I start getting, like, extremely cold if I go in the dairy section of a grocery store, and to where my body aches. And thank God I don't go into a flare-up with that, but it'll ache for, a couple hours. With the temperature changes, it could be, being exposed to temps even only for 5 minutes. So that can cause a flare. So if you go outside and it's really hot and you're literally out there 5 minutes, it can cause a flare. If you go you know, out in the cold or in the rain or something, it can cause a flare. And every single person is different. They could, you know, every single person, like I said, every single person is different, but every time they have a flare is different. Lack of sleep. Changes in your sleep routine. If your sleep pattern changes and lasts for a while, you can expect a flare soon after. Here about a month ago, I did not sleep except maybe 2 or 3 hours a night for 8 days. And my sleep's always broken up. So that's 2 or 3 hours for the night broken up. I average, you know, sometimes between 5 and 6 hours, and that's broken up. I usually wake up about every 2 hours, and that's because of the pain. And I could not figure out why I went into a flare-up a couple days later, and I just totally thought wasn't thinking about the not sleeping. And I know that it causes that, and for some reason, like my fibro fog has been really, really bad, and I was just like trying to figure out what was going on, and I couldn't. And then after the flare, I was like, oh gosh, I didn't sleep for 8 days. No wonder I had the flare. Treatment changes. So if your doctor changes your medications or you start physical therapy, you most likely will go into a flare-up because it is a change in your body. Traveling. Traveling is not easy, and usually we don't travel very often. Traveling has lots of triggers such as weather changes, temp changes, stress, and disruption of sleep routines, not to mention sitting for hours. I know traveling is one of my major ones. I went to visit a friend in Hanford, which is only an hour and a half away, and I stopped 3 times because I have to get out and walk and stretch. Otherwise, it's really bad for me. And even after I do that, only for an hour and a half, I had to I had to rest for a few hours before we actually did anything. And then also I go to my best friend's house, and she lives 9 hours away, and I don't see her very often. But I have to take 2 days to get in. I also, oh God, and then I also have to plan for 3 to 4 days of resting before we do anything. So, and then, you know, even coming home, I have to plan 3 or 4 days. So, like, for my doctor's appointments, I will not plan any for that week that I come home because I know I physically won't be able to get out of bed. So, individual sensitivities like allergies, light, noise, or smells will get a person into a flare. I know smells, I cannot handle perfume, like I've said before. It really gets me sick if someone has really strong perfume. I immediately get a headache if I smell strong perfume. Like, I cannot, okay, so the, what is it called? Ulta, the makeup place. I went in there with my daughter and my nieces one day. I was in there 20 seconds, if that. And my head was spinning. I had an instant headache. I started trying to feel like I was throwing up. I was extremely dizzy to where my niece and my daughter had to take me outside, and I literally wasn't even, I was maybe 20 seconds, if that. I didn't even get to the first aisle. It was ridiculous. I just got so sick. So since then, I avoid Ulta like the plague. My niece's or daughter wants to go in there, and I'm like, nope, I'll stand here and wait for you, because Ulta is definitely a trigger for me. How to recover from a flare-up. Everyone has their different ways. You always find things that help you, but these are the ones that the journals, the medical journals say that really help. So give yourself a break. Just say no, which we all struggle with. You know, we always, but we need to learn that no, we need to we can't do this. We can't go out with a friend. We can't go to a party. We can't go out to lunch or anything like that during a flare. Also get some sleep, which is really hard when you're in a flare-up. I know myself, I have 2 different sleeping meds prescribed by the doctor. Then I also have Benadryl and a generic NyQuil that I keep. And I alternate in between them. So, and I don't use them, you know, on a regular basis. I give them to if I'm having a hard time sleeping. If I don't feel tired by 10 o'clock, because normally I go to sleep about 10 and 10:30. If I'm not tired by 10 o'clock, I'll take something. And also play mind games, it says. So deep breathing, excuse me, meditation, and read a book. I know one thing I also do that my counselors have said really helps is crocheting. If you keep your mind focused on something else, your brain's not focusing on anxiety. It's not focusing on the pain receptors. So I don't know why it works, but like if you really stay focused on something, it can help calm you down. So try it, you know. I have not done the meditation. I have not done the deep breathing, but I do read a book, and then I do crochet. Pace yourself. Give yourself time, extra time to do anything during a flare-up. Like when I'm in a flare-up, pretty much, I'm in bed almost the whole time. But if I have to go to a doctor's appointment or something, I know I have to, you know, get up and stretch and do all that. So you will find things that will actually work for you if you actually have to do something. But if you have to go to a doctor's appointment or something during a flare-up, don't go grocery shopping after, because then you're overexerting yourself. You need to go home and rest. Medicate properly. Make sure you're taking your medication on time. Also, if you're excruciating pain and it's too soon to take your pain meds, then I know my doctor has me take acetaminophen or ibuprofen or Advil or whatever. So in between those. Drink lots of water. I think we can all drink more water than we actually do. Consider alternatives. So massages, acupuncture, chiropractor, and cryotherapy. So I love massages, but not during a flare-up. I've tried it multiple times. If I'm in a flare-up, you cannot touch me. I go to physical therapy, and they will give massages and stuff, and I've had them try, I think 3, maybe 4 times, and I was bawling my head off after every one, and it made the flare-up even worse. Acupuncture. This girl cannot handle one needle. I have a hard time. So no one is sticking 100 needles in me. I will not try acupuncture, but I do have friends that says it does help. So if you can handle needles, try it. Chiropractor. I love my chiropractor. It does help. I have not specifically gone during a flare-up, but the chiropractor really helps with my fibro and all that stuff, because I get knots all in my shoulders and my neck and in my back, and he'll massage them out and stuff like that, so it really helps. Cryotherapy I am interested in, but I cannot afford it. It is pretty expensive, but I have heard that it really helps. And that is it for today. I hope everyone is doing well. Please like and share this page so that we can get the word out. We all need some support, so hopefully we can get some family members to see what all fibro is about. I hope everyone is staying well during this COVID-19 crisis. If you have any questions, message me or put them in the notes. Have a great day.